Hello, I am Marc Santin Duasso, Oslo Tennis Club tennis coach, and I would like to welcome you to the 3-minute tips. Today I'm going to try to give you some tips to improve your topspin. Imagine that the highest mountain where we need to reach, it's called the topspin mountain, and right now we are on the first mountain, the smallest one, that it's called the first progression mountain. For the first progression, I recommend you to use a red or orange ball, because with them it's easier to see the spin of the ball. Imagine that you are hitting top spin. Remember that the ball needs to spin forward and really fast. Let's start with the first progression, where we are going to stay focused on our wrist movement or wrist acceleration. For this movement, I recommend you to have a very relaxed wrist, okay? Don't stay stiff, otherwise it's very difficult to do the top spin. So stay relaxed. Let's start with the first tip, where we are going to paint the wall. And how are we going to do that? I'm going to stay sideways to the wall with a bit of distance, and the racket is in front of my body, and I'm going to start painting the wall only with my wrist movement, from down to up. That's the first tip. Second tip, spin the football ball. Stay behind the football ball, the arm is not moving. I'm going to spin the ball only with my wrist. Yes? That's the second tip. Third tip, imagine that this face of the racket, the one that is facing you, is the green color, and the one that is facing to the wall is the purple color. So for this tip, we are going to use the purple color and with a forehand topspin grip, okay? And it's going to be like that. This is the green color, I'm going to use the purple color. Hold the racket like that, in all tips, I didn't say that before, it's going to help you for the first progression. From outside to inside, and I'm going to start doing this movement. And when I have it, then I can throw the ball, and I do this. One more time. Yes, you can do it in a row if you want, from outside to inside, only with the wrist, not with the whole arm. Tip number 4. Thumb and index finger pointing down. And now we are going to, and I'm almost done, 2 more tips. I'm going to hold a ball, yes? And the goal of this tip is to throw the ball, and in this case I will point to you. Yes? Index finger is pointing down, and now I'm going to throw the ball to you and pointing down with my finger. Yes? Tip number 5. We can use a ring for this one, and the ring is in front of me. I'm not moving the arm, only the wrist, okay? So it's going to be like that. Try to do this movement. So as you can see, that's the movement. The index finger is pointing down at the end. Yes? And after that, you can do the same with the racket. Holding it like this, head of the racket pointing down, and I go with my index finger pointing to you. Okay, you can see it from here. As you can see, the racket is in front of me. I'm sideways. Yes? That's the tip number 5. And the last one. Put a ball on the triangle. Imagine that this is the net. And I go under with my head of the racket. Do you see where is the ball? Yes? And the goal is that the ball cannot fall down, and I need to pass over the net only with my wrist. And after that, without the ball, you can do it a bit faster, and you can start, like, I call it brushing the net. So that was all the tips for today. Remember, relax the wrist, okay? On the next video, I hope that you find them useful. If you are a lot of players in the court, you can use all these tips as different stations and not more than 30 seconds. I think 30 seconds is going to be okay. Top spin tips and the second progression where we are going to stay focused on our legs. If you want to follow me on YouTube, A Slice of Tennis, and on Facebook, Marc Santilduasso Tennis Coach, or at Marc Tennis Coach. Tusen tack. Thank you. Vi ses.